This promo, this is the sleaziest promo I've ever heard of in 30 years. Bar none.
As you may or may not know by now, there was a recent controversy that hit the poker world as two players were caught colluding by chip dumping when playing heads up for over $1 million in a WSOP golden bracelet. Thanks to this slight form of cheating, the shorter stacked player named Jesse came back from a 9-1 chip deficit and at the time was awarded the bracelet. The reason for the chip dumping came down to a separate promotion being held by a competitor poker company, the WPT, where they would award an additional $1 million to the shorter stack Jesse if he won. First, Jesse had to qualify and win a golden ticket, but what's more important is he was the only player of the two that could collect the additional $1 million bonus, not his opponent, James. Watch my last video if you want the full details on that and to see how it all went down. Long story short, the WSOP did an investigation after the insane heads-up play and days later had this to say. The investigation into WSOP Event 53 has been completed. We have concluded that in order to uphold the integrity of the game and to uphold our official WSOP tournament rules, no winner will be recognized and no bracelet will be awarded for this year's tournament. The remaining prize pool will be split between the final two players. A first in WSOP history. No bracelet awarded and the final two players forced to chop first and second place money. The public sentiment of this decision overall was that it was fair as the money was still being awarded. That was really the big concern. However, it is rumored that the two players involved also received a lifetime ban from the WSOP, which, if true, would be pretty harsh. In comes Daniel Negreanu, who finally responded to this drama in a small 4-minute rant within his vlog. I wouldn't be surprised if the WSOP went to him for advice on how to handle the situation, as he did feel the need to mention that he had nothing to do with whether or not the players get banned.
It was ruled that the play was, as we saw, a farce. Neither player earned a bracelet. Neither player will be rewarded with a bracelet. In addition to that, they may face some no trespass issues with Nevada Gaming and Caesars making those decisions. Those are out of my hands. I do have empathy for the two players who, even though they won $1 million, I have empathy for them because, you know, they're not gonna be able to play the World Series for I don't know how long.
While Daniel makes some nice points and new revelations in his response, like mentioning the two players were put in an impossible spot.
First thing I really wanted to discuss about it was I don't blame the players one bit. They were put in a brutal spot. For all intent and purposes, I know these two people as good people. One of them was, facing severe financial hardships, just trying to get back on his feet. Had about 10 minutes to decide on what to do here. Was given this opportunity, took it. From what I heard, he now regrets making that decision. A little too late, but it is what it is.
And that the third place winner was supposedly asked to participate and declined.
Also, this is important. The third place finisher was also approached and denied he didn't want to take part in it, right? So a lot of you have said, well, what's the difference? It doesn't affect any of the other participants. Clearly, the evidence shows that it may have.
He really misses the mark in the rest of the video as his stance becomes obviously biased and hypocritical.
Objectively, I'm a GG WSOP guy. That's obvious, right? That's obvious, right?
As anyone who has watched this channel knows, I've done multiple videos about Daniel and I'm a fan. But to call what WPT did the sleaziest thing he has seen in poker in 30 years is just wild. Well-known poker regular Martin Zamani took us down memory lane, reminding Daniel of the time when he was an ambassador for PokerStars and how they removed their Supernova Elite promotion mid-year. This was one where many people grinded thousands of hours online to achieve, only to have their work stripped away without any meaning. But sure, this is the sleaziest promo ever. It's wild because, fun fact, GG Poker is currently running the same exact promo that WPT Gold did. Yeah. Seriously, I didn't even know this until recently, but they have a similar thing going on where if a player wins specifically the main event as a quote-unquote GG qualifier, they will get a bonus of $1 million. Sure, you can say it's being done for just one event and the impact wouldn't be as great since the prize pool is already so big, but you can't deny it could very well put the players in the same exact spot as we just saw. Two players playing heads up, one has won the GG qualifier and the other hasn't. Does it sound familiar? It's okay for GG to do it because Daniel's a part of GG, but not WPT? Why, Daniel? Why?
I'm a free market guy.
I think this reply hits the nail on the head. Agreed, I've never seen something so malicious in the poker community as WPT giving out millions of bonus dollars to poker players. We must all stand together against this extra money being injected into the ecosystem. Daniel is just way off touch on this one, and he is clearly just defending his checkbook, which is fine, but we all know what you're doing. You've done it before, like the time you defended more rake.
You know, there's a lot of games where that's true, where the rake is really high and it keeps pros away because they're like, well, we can't beat this. But overall, for the game, it's actually better. It's actually better because pros aren't playing. So nobody's like, so they're losing the rake money, which is going to be more, but they're not losing as much. They're basically passing the money around, you know?
Yeah.
On top of that, it is hypocritical for Daniel to take shots at WPT when it was actually GG Poker, his own sponsor, that fired the first shot. In winter of 2023, they chose not to stagger dates, but to go head-to-head with WPT's long-established December series. Now, players are forced to pick sides as the two events overlap. Personally, I say who cares if WPT chose their promo in hopes things would turn out this way. This is war. Daniel, however, calls it a black mark on poker.
What kind of black mark this is going to create for poker? Because make no mistake, that's what it did. ESPN wrote a piece about cheating at the World Series, all this sort of thing. Who does that benefit? It doesn't benefit anybody in poker, right?
It might have definitely benefited the two guys that won over $1 million and then got an extra $1 million.
I wish both players would have not even played the farce and forced the commentators to make these, like try to make sense of what is actually happening. And just one of them just says, I'm not feeling well. I'm going home. I forfeit, right? And at least everybody would have known, but whatever. At least they wouldn't have had the farce that we ended up seeing.
I don't know, guys. What do you think? Would it have made everything that much better? Imagine you just have James sitting out and you got the short stack raising every big blind and he just slowly accumulates all of James's chips. WSOP player sits out so that his opponent wins the bracelet and the two split $1 million. One thought I had during all of this is, can you really just take a guy's bracelet? I imagine the winner, Jesse, did go home with the bracelet. I mean, he had it in his hands, right? What did the WSOP do? Say, hey, man, that bracelet, can you give it back? I gotta say, I would just say, no, I lost it. What? If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more to come. Thanks for watching.